Welcome to Trust Me, I'm Fat. I'm Starla, and today we're going to make a prime rib roast. So the first thing you're going to do is buy a prime rib roast. This one has the rib end still. I like to buy those ones because it gives it something to sit up on. And you just put it in a dish, and you're going to pat it dry with some paper towels. You want to get it dry so that the butter that we're going to put on it will stick to it. I've been asked for this recipe by a few people that we've shared prime rib with, and they really like it, but they said theirs didn't turn out like mine. So they must have been doing something wrong, because this is really easy. So dry it off everywhere. It's nice and dry. And I've been letting this sit out for a couple of hours on my counter, so it's not quite room temperature, but it's not really cold from the fridge. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to score it. I like to just the fat cap. So I just do some lines with a nice sharp knife, and you don't want to cut the meat. You just want to cut the fat a little bit. And don't cut off the string. So I just do a little bit in a diamond pattern. And it just helps the seasoning to stick in there. And some of the butter too. Okay. Now I've got one stick of butter that is softened, and I'm just gonna rub the whole thing with it. Just a nice, good, thick layer of butter, because butter makes everything better. I'm going to do the front and the back roll here on my side, which looks just like the front. Whoop! Hey, it landed in the pan. It's not on my counter. How about that? Look how nice that looks. So much butter. I'm going to wash the butter off my hand. So now we're going to mix the seasonings. It's just a really basic seasoning. I've got 4 tablespoons of Lowry seasoning salt and 1 tablespoon each of onion powder, garlic powder, and black pepper. Just want to stir those together. We're going to use all of this on our prime rib. We're going to cover every surface with it. So here we go. And just kind of pat it into the butter. And it'll make a nice crust on the outside. I don't know why I washed my hands. I just got them all dirty again. That looks pretty good. So now we're going to take, let me get some of that off. We're going to put in our thermometer. I don't always use a thermometer on stuff, but this you want to, because this is not the cheapest cut of meat you can buy at the store. You want to make sure you cook it right. So I'm going to put it right in the middle, in the fattest part. And I'm going to set my little timer to, how do you turn it on? Oh, there it goes. Not my timer. I'm going to set the temperature that I want it to tell me it's done at to 120. And then I'll pull it out. It starts in the oven at 500 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then you're going to turn the temperature down to 275. And it's about, I'd say 3 to 5 minutes per pound, depending on how well done you want it. I'm looking for medium rare, closer to the rarish side of medium rare. So I pull it out at 120 and tent it, and it will continue to cook after you pull it out. So I'm gonna get this in my oven at 500 and we'll come back. Don't open the door after you put it in. That's the main thing, and it will dry out, it'll mess up your oven temperatures. You need to leave it closed until this tells you you're at the temperature you want. And it's really hard not to look at it, but you can do it. So I'll check back in with you in a little bit after I've lowered the temperature, and we'll see where we're at. Okay, our roast has reached 120 degrees, so we need to get it out of the oven. Okay, there it is. And this is at 120, and I'm gonna leave it in there for now. The temperature will continue to rise. I'm going to cover this with some, what is this, Reynolds wrap foil stuff. And I'm gonna let it rest on my counter for about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, because if you cut into it now, all the juices will run out and it will be dry. You don't want to do that. So it has to rest, and it doesn't hurt it to rest 30 minutes at all. So I'll sit here and I'm going to work on some side dishes that our family likes to eat with this, and we'll catch you back when we're ready to taste. All right, our roast has sat for about 40 minutes. So now I'm going to cut it. I've already lifted it out and put it on a cutting board. But so my cutting board doesn't slide around, I've got a wet paper towel that I'm going to put there. And I'm just going to lift this on top of it. See, now it won't slide around. It's just going to stay still. We've got to remove our strings. And there is going to be some juice that comes out. That's normal. There's part of our crust. Ooh, messy. Okay, now we're going to remove it off of the ribs. Let me scoot some of this crust over. And it's good to have a sharp knife to help you remove it the rest of the way. So I'm using a fillet knife to cut mine up. So there's the ribs. And you can cut those because some people like to eat the ribs, so you can just give it a cut down the middle, and you've got your, because this is just a little 2-rib roast. So then you've got 2 little ribs that people can have if they would like. And then let's cut this up and put it on a plate to show you. Now, I'm going to cut my husband's favorite piece out for him, which is the very middle. That's the piece he gets. We're going to use our pitchfork to help us hold it in place. Move that way. There we go. Let's see. Let's see how we did. Oh, it's cutting good. Oh, that's just right. See? Cooked. Perfect. Super juicy. That's perfect. Let me cut this piece off and put it on a plate and hold it up for you so you can actually see it. Ooh. See how beautiful? We'll taste it when we have all of our sides on here. Well, I only made 2 sides to go with it today. Some funeral potatoes and some, what are those? Brussels sprouts. So we'll be back to taste. Okay, we're ready to taste. This is what we have here, this dinner. And today my husband is going to try it. Come here, Kendall, come close.
I'm going to cut you a piece right out of the dead center. Is that okay? Let's see here. Maybe I needed a better knife. It's so soft. Look how tender it is. Oh. All right, you ready?
That's just right.
Yeah?
Like it.
Is it dried out?
Nope. Nice and juicy.
Here.
You gonna feed me more?
Yeah, you gotta try everything.
Okay.
Okay, here's the Brussels sprouts that we made. There's going to be a video posted for this, so you'll have to check it out. Yep, the Brussels sprouts. And there's some cheesy potatoes, and I know he likes these.
Funeral potatoes.
So funeral potatoes. They're called funeral potatoes because where we're from, they make them for funerals. And we're originally from Utah. And down there, this is a thing when somebody dies. So a big thing. It gets brought to your house. It's at the luncheon at the church. It's just funeral potatoes. Everybody knows what they are if you're from there. If you're not from there, they're called cheesy potatoes because we've lived in the South. We've lived all over. And so we know we've ordered stuff before and been like, oh, there's funeral potatoes. So you should give them a try. There's going to be a video for those too. Anyways, I hope you liked today's video. And if you try this, let me know. You can eat it with horseradish, your favorite au jus. It goes great with any side, mashed potatoes and gravy, whatever you want to eat. Anyways, have a great day. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Bye.